In this whole creator economy, a personal brand is a business. But how do you actually turn likes and follows into, a real company? So today, we're going to break down the business model of one creator who's doing exactly that, and we'll peel back the curtain on the strategy behind her success.
It all starts with this number right here, over 400,000. That's the combined reach across all platforms for the creator we're looking at today, Nadine Bronte. That's a huge audience, right? But the real question, the one we're all asking, is how do you turn all that attention into a sustainable business?
And yeah, that really is the million-dollar question for this whole explainer. How do you take that huge following and turn it into a steady, reliable business? Spoiler alert, it's not magic. It's a carefully built model. All right, so here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll meet the entrepreneur. Then we'll get into this spicy Italian brand she's built. After that, we'll look at her social media funnel, then connect that to how she actually makes money. And finally, we'll wrap up by looking at what we're calling the creator's gamble.
Okay, so first up, who is Nadine Bronte? Well, she's a 31-year-old content creator from Italy, and she's basically building an entire business around her personality and her connection with her audience.
And she's doing this all within what we call the creator economy. Now, if you're not familiar, think of it like this. It's a world where creators aren't just employees. Nope, they are the entire company. They're the CEO, the marketing department, the product developer, all rolled into one. This is way more than just a new job title, you guys. It's a fundamental shift in how business gets done today.
And you know what's really interesting here? Her age. At 31, she's part of this more mature, confident wave of creators. And that's not just about having more life experience. It translates directly into a super clear brand identity and a really strategic long-term business plan. And trust me, in a market this crowded, that gives her a huge advantage.
Okay, so let's dig into that brand, the spicy Italian. Because in today's world, it's not enough to just make content. The market is just flooded. You have to build a real, authentic identity. Your personality literally becomes the product. I mean, just look at her YouTube bio. Right off the bat, she's setting the tone. This is personal. It's intimate. She's not just some random creator. She's your little spicy Italian. That little word, your, is so powerful. It creates this instant, one-on-one feeling with every single person watching. But what's really clever is how all these pieces fit together. That spicy Italian thing, it's not just her background. It's her whole persona. It's memorable. And her dogs, Moto and Blue, they're not just cute pets. They're like recurring characters in her story. They make the whole brand feel more human, more real. So everything, the fashion, the travel, the food, it's all part of this bigger picture. Each post is like a little piece of the puzzle that makes up her brand. Okay, great brand, but how do you make money from it? Well, that's where the social media funnel comes into play. It's this really smart, multi-platform strategy that's designed to do one thing: turn casual followers into actual paying customers. And it's a pretty classic funnel, broken down into 3 main steps. So at the top, you've got awareness. This is where she uses TikTok and Instagram to get in front of as many eyes as possible, right? It's broad, safe for work stuff that's easy to share. Then, in the middle, it's all about connection. On YouTube and Twitter, she goes a little deeper, builds more of a personal relationship. And then, at the very bottom, you have conversion. That's where the diehard fans go to subscribe for exclusive content. So you see, it's a journey she takes them on, from who is this to here's my money. And this whole funnel strategy, it's not just good marketing, it's also really, really smart business. Because think about it, she's not putting all her eggs in one basket. If one platform changes its algorithm, or worse, deplatforms her, her entire business doesn't just collapse. It's all about diversifying her risk. All right, let's get to the good stuff. Let's talk money. We've seen the brand and the funnel, but how does that actually translate into dollars and cents? Let's break down the numbers. So here's a look at the top of that funnel. Look at those numbers. Over 100,000 followers on Instagram, over 100,000 on TikTok. That is a massive pool of potential customers she's built. And every single post on those platforms is basically an ad, pushing people down to the next level of the funnel. Now, let's talk about the price. It's not random. At just $8 a month, that is an impulse buy for a lot of people. It's like, sure, why not? And that low barrier to entry is absolutely critical for getting a high number of people to make that jump from fan to subscriber. Okay, now this number is really important. 109,000. That's the number of likes on her paid platform. And that's not just a vanity metric.
Not at all. It tells us that the people who are paying are super engaged with what they're getting. And that kind of engagement, that's the secret to keeping subscribers month after month.
And it doesn't stop with subscriptions either. Any smart creator knows you have to diversify your income streams. So on top of that monthly fee, she's also making money from things like pay-per-view content, brand partnerships on her other platforms, direct tips from fans, even affiliate marketing. It's a whole financial ecosystem. But let's be real. Building a business like this isn't a walk in the park. There are definitely risks involved. So for our last section, let's take a look at the creator's gamble, weighing the challenges against those huge opportunities. Being a creator is this constant balancing act. On one hand, you're dealing with insane competition, the constant fear that a platform will change its rules overnight, not to mention social stigma and privacy issues. But on the other hand, the opportunity is just massive. We're talking about a growing market, the potential for huge brand deals, and even expanding into your own little media empire. And this is where the potential gets, well, kind of mind-blowing. Let's just do some quick math. If she can convert just 2 or 3%, that's it, of her entire audience into paying subscribers, we're talking about potential monthly revenue in the tens of thousands of dollars, maybe even close to 6 figures. Just let that sink in for a second. This isn't a side hustle. This is a legitimate, highly profitable business. So all of this leaves us with one big question to chew on. Yeah, we just looked at one person's business, but what she's doing, it represents this massive trend that's happening everywhere. As more and more people start turning their own personality into their business, are we basically watching the personal brand become the new blueprint for what a small business looks like?